from the beginning of the career talk until now, we have been exploring your journey and your experience as a candidate or a professional navigating the Canadian market to get to where you are today. But I know that you have sat on both sides of the table as a candidate as well as a manager. So as a manager, I believe that you have already also been interviewing candidates for your organization. With that said, what are some key skills or qualities you look for in candidates when look to hire them?
So for me, the first part obviously would be that they should have the previous required experience that we are looking for to hire. So they should have that, whether it's in Canada, or outside the country. So when they have that experience, the second phase that comes to it is that how good of the communication skill the person has to express themselves in a way that it's easily understandable and clear. And the third part of it would be how much of out of the box thinking the person has. So for example, if a person is experienced really well in their field, I'm just giving you an example. For example, if a candidate has to be hired and they've got 10 years of experience in their field, and there's another candidate who has only 3 years of experience in that field. So in the interview, what I look for is that what's the problem solving capacity of the candidates. Sometimes a candidate who has less years of experience can have better problem solving capabilities. So that's what we look for, like the out of the box thinking. If there's a problem at hand, how do you utilize all your resources to handle it and communicate effectively? And how much of a passion or energy you put into it. So that's quite visible in the interview when that happens. So basically what gives the edge is the passion that the candidate shows and how much of critical thinking that they portray in their field to solve the problem. It's not about the years of experience from what I'll say. It's about how good you utilize the experience that you have to progress in the future, to solve the problems at a professional level and at a personal level. Because those versatile personalities are the ones that eventually become leaders and they grow. So that's how I see it.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing here, first of all, is communication skills, the ability to communicate our ideas clearly and easily for people to understand. And then another thing that I'm hearing here is out of the box thinking or problem solving skills or critical thinking skills, and also the passion that you bring to the table just to make sure that everybody can see how passionate you are in your career, in your field. So that leads me to my next question, which is also one of my favorite questions for tonight, which is what distinguishes great candidates and good candidates, or in other words, what make a good candidate great?
So I'll stick to the same thing, the passion and the hunger that the candidate has and the energy that they bring to the table. That basically distinguishes the great ones from the good ones. How good they are in portraying what they want and how clearly they're portraying it. And one of the important ones that just one that just came to my mind. So when you go for a job interview, all the interview goes well, and in the end, it's really important for the person who is interviewing for the job to ask a question, and that question should not just be like a what do you call, like a book statement. It should be something that makes the person the person who's interviewing the candidate think. Like it should make the interviewer think rather than you think. So that basically stays in the mind of the interviewer, and then they look at the candidate differently. So how you portray the energy that you bring to the table, that basically distinguishes you from the other candidates.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think it's one of the things that we tend to miss, right? At the end of the interview, people ask you, do you have any questions? And out of the blue, we can't think of any questions and we can panic, right? So it's really important for you to make sure that you prepare some questions. It doesn't just show that you are seriously invested in this opportunity and you're curious about the opportunity, but it also can show the show the employers that you are trying to gather much information as much as you can to make a decision. Because at the end of the day, an interview is a two-way street, right? As much as the employer is interviewing you, it's also about you interviewing the employer to make sure that it's a place that you can see yourself working for in a long term, right? So it's very important to ask questions and to prepare questions beforehand before coming into the interview.